Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are covering the Brighton versus Man United preview. With me is Maloto. Unfortunately, Marcus is not available for today's show, but the show must go on. So, Maloto, first of all, how are you feeling after United's win against Norwich in the FA Cup?
Um, I'm not as disappointed as Marcus was, but yeah, it just highlighted some of our problems at the club. But other than that, I think we're still on the right direction, in the right path. I think he did make a lot of changes, so that would affect how the team plays in general. So I'm still expecting us to do well going forward.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it also this week because now we've had time to reflect on that result. And, I was just thinking that I don't want it cloud to put in too much negativity because United are on a roll. And I think our first team is good enough. Our first team really is good enough. It's just, I think for winning bigger trophies, things like Champions League, things like the Premier League and closing the gap to Liverpool and City, that game there was just like a reality check to show how important squad depth is. And it's not possible if you don't have extra players.
True. I mean, I know our first team came onto the pitch, but it was a cup game. So I feel like maybe Norwich are a bit more motivated, and they were pretty much defending with every single player. And at the end of the day, we are in the semi-final. So I think there's more positives than negatives. But you're right. Going forward, if we're going to challenge for those big trophies, we're definitely not going to do it with the squad. We need more.
Yeah, definitely. And so our next game, Brighton, at their home ground, obviously doesn't matter because there is no fans. But this is a team that bantered Arsenal. Do you think there's any chance that they could do the same to us?
I think it's all on us, really. I think it depends on how we play. I think if we're off a bit, they are a team that could take advantage because I saw them against Leicester last week and they're very disciplined on the counter, in defense, and they have been a bogey team for us in the past. So they're going to be very rigid and they know how to use the ball when they have it. So I think we have enough if all our players are on it and we play like we played against, what is it again? Against Sheffield. I think we should.
Sheffield, yeah. What I will say about Brighton is obviously they in good form. I'm sure they're very confident because they were in a relegation race. But those last two results have been in their favour. They're on 33 points now, 15th place on the league. It looks like they could be safe. And United are obviously in sixth position because Wolves played on the weekend and we didn't play. So if we win this game, we'll obviously go back above Wolves. But the gap to Chelsea and Leicester are still, we'll still be 2 points behind Chelsea and 3 points behind Leicester. But the gap is closing. Do you think it's possible that maybe United could finish fourth, but maybe I don't think we could finish ahead of Chelsea. Chelsea could finish third and we can get fourth. And Leicester completely drops out.
Yeah, I've been thinking that because I thought Man City would beat Chelsea, but Chelsea seem to have a good thing going. They maybe don't have the best of squads, but they have a good manager, good tactics. So I think they're going to get the third place. Leicester is looking very shaky. They've pretty much dropped points in every game they've been back, and they just got knocked out of the FA Cup. So I just don't think they have enough anymore to make top four. So if we stay on our game, I think we will topple Leicester, and we'll finish fourth.
Yeah. And with this game, though, the thing is, I'm worried. I won't lie to you. I'm very worried because I have faith in United, but then there's still a part of me that, saying, why do I have faith in this United? Obviously they're my team, but I have trust issues. I'll be honest. I have trust issues with United. And I think even with the first team playing, there was something about the FA Cup game we played. It just looked like we didn't care, and I'm worried. If that slips in to United, the only thing that I have in my mind is that logically it doesn't make sense to just slip off and not care because this is a big Premier League game and we do want to do well still and finish in the top four. And I think that, the confidence levels are high and we want to keep our unbeaten record going.
I think Maguire said it perfectly on the weekend that we were flat. And even when the first team came on, yes, I did say there's other factors, but we weren't. Maybe we should have won the game within the 90 minutes. But the thing is, this team has done this to us in the past before. I mean, remember last season when we won a Great Wall, then all of a sudden against Arsenal, we dropped off. And from there on, we just fell off the pace for top four. So, yeah, we're scarred with this team. So if that happened again, we'd be in big trouble because I think losing 1 or 2 games in this current situation can be detrimental.
I think so. I think every point matters. Do you think that if somehow Brighton does pull up an upset like a draw, or if United lose tomorrow, do you think top four is gone?
No, and that's just based on Leicester's form, really. And we're playing them on the last day of the season, and they have really hard games. So, to be honest, I think Chelsea's gone. I think we won't catch them, but Leicester are very shaky. But if we do lose this game, it will be much harder.
It's funny because I was thinking when Chelsea beat City last week, I was thinking this top four race just got a lot more ridiculously hard to get. At that point, I'm like, I doubt we're going to get Chelsea. I think Chelsea will 100% secure their spot. But then again, like what you said, I was looking at Leicester and I was thinking Leicester look very shaky. And I think if there's any bit of hope, I think is if we can get Leicester's spot.
Yeah, like Chelsea aren't perfect. I mean, as much as they did win against Man City, and it does look like they'll get top four, they still have holes in the club. I mean, defensively, they're not that great. They struggle there. So it's the Premier League. You might beat Man City, then go on against Watford the next week and lose points. And we've seen Chelsea do that time and time again. So it's not impossible, but it does seem more likely that it will be Leicester who falls out.
Yeah, definitely. And then just another thing, off topic of the game, Angel Gomes. His contract, it has run out. I haven't seen any news yet. I'll check again now quick. But I haven't seen any news of his contract being renewal. I think the last time I heard there was a contract available that United thought was fair and thought that he should sign. But I don't think Angel Gomes would have signed it because obviously he's not getting game time. He's still young. I don't blame him for wanting game time, going somewhere else to develop his career. Because if I had to look at it from Angel Gomes' point of view, I'm young. I've been very good in the youth. I've captained the youth team. And I still don't even get a chance to sit on the bench or play games. Whereas Lingard, Pereira, old boy Mata in his wheelchair, all those guys who are not deserving get spots in their team. And I'm working hard here in the youth team, never getting a chance. And then again, from United's point, it just shows how far we still are from competing to be title contenders and everything. Because it's things like this that, you need to sort out if you want a champion winning side. You can't let contracts just slide down like this. You need to get the fundamentals and basics right. You need to show that you care. You need to show that the recruitment and the way you handle off the pitch things are in order. Ed Woodward and, the owners and whoever else is at United above the players needs to sort it out. And what do you have to say about the whole Angel Gomes situation? Are you happy that he's going? Do you want him to stay? And what do you think that just says about United as a club as a whole?
Yeah, look, dude, I'm upset. And I'm just a fan. I'm upset on his behalf because I just don't get it. Like, we've been talking over the last few days about structure and depth, and they go and do this. I just don't get it. I just don't get how we have Mata and Lingard playing against Norwich when you have youth players like Gomes and Chong and Garner not being given a chance. It just doesn't make sense to me because here are players who are hungry to be in the club and you can see have the talent, but we're picking these players who are not performing every week and being paid and being overpaid. It just doesn't make sense to me why they would do that. I just don't get it, honestly.
Yeah, and I was just checking out to make sure. Sky Sports just came out that saying Solskjaer has confirmed that the highly rated youngster Angel Gomes is yet to sign a contract extension and looks to set to leave Man United. So I think Angel Gomes decided that he's not going to sign that contract because there was a contract available, I think, but I think he just rejected it. And it's just showing again, we got snubbed by Bellingham. He looks like he's going to Dortmund. Snubbed by Haaland, who Oli knew very, very well and was very close to. It just seemed like the young, youthful players don't want to come to United anymore.
And I don't blame him. I don't blame him because Lingard's playing every week. He's doing crap. Or at a point, rather. Pereira was playing every week. He's doing crap. Here's a creative player who's, maybe you can't say has proved it at the big leagues because he hasn't gotten the chance, but he's the captain of England, you said, and he's a creative player. He's what we need, but he's not being played. So I don't see how that will inspire you to stay at the club. We have a central defensive mid problem, but Garner's never getting a chance to start. And we know players need game time to show what they can do, and if you're not giving them the chance, they're not going to show it. Gomes, we struggle on the right wing. Yes, we have James and Greenwood, but then James sometimes a bit off. Why not give Gomez, I mean Chong? Why not give Chong the chance? So it just doesn't make sense. And I don't blame youth players for not coming to this club because, as we've seen in the past, United's like a black hole for players. We have destroyed many players' careers, which is sad to say. So yeah, our structure's messed up, and it will hinder us from winning a title.
Yeah, definitely. And all the best to Angel Gomes. Obviously, I think he was a phenomenal talent, and I hope he goes on to wherever he goes to do well. I hope someone good takes him. Heck, he could even go to Chelsea. Last time I heard is that Chelsea really wanted him. So that would be very interesting if Gomes went there. Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing is, they'll play him because, look, Mount is playing every week. The best we could have done, if we don't want to start him, is loan him out to the Championship like they do with Mount and Abraham. And just let him show his talents. And you never know. We need a midfielder. So let's go test him. But to let him go for free is just ridiculous.
Yeah, and what I would ask Ollie is that, in the games like last week, in a game like Brighton, you're overplaying players, you're making them tired. And we know it's not like we haven't given Jesse Lingard or Andreas Pereira chances. They've gotten the whole season to have a chance. I would ask Ollie, why would you not give Angel Gomes a start to everyone at that club, in and around, in United, who has ties in their connections, and speak so highly rated of him? Even you have, as a manager, spoken highly rated of him. Why doesn't he get a chance?
It doesn't add up. Why is he not starting?
What is there to lose? Because Lingard is so bad that there is nothing to lose. You can't be any worse.
And he keeps starting. Like, Lingard's crap. There's no hiding that. So I just don't get why. I think, if I have to assume, he was trying to pressure him to sign a contract and saying, if you're not going to sign, you're not going to play for my team, which is the worst strategy I've ever seen in my life. But anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, let's look at the predicted 11 for the Brighton game. So I think it'll go back to the Sheffield lineup. I think there was no question about it. I think Matic is very important, and I think, it's very unfortunate. I'm looking at this team and I was just thinking, this team didn't get a rest. Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, De Gea got a rest, but the rest of them did not really get a rest. And the one I'm worried the most about is Bruno. I don't know how well Bruno is going to play because I don't know. I think he's genuinely tired. I think he needed a small break, and I would give him a break in this game because it's Brighton, and if we play everyone in this team bar Bruno, and you play maybe Pogba more advanced, and you put up Fredo and McTominay next to Matic, it'll work. It'll 100% work.
I don't know, because I've seen this team play without Bruno, even when Pogba's fit, and just not do it. I feel like Pogba's a brilliant player, but then he's hot and cold. You can't predict what he's going to do, and with that much responsibility, I don't know if I trust him. I think I prefer him playing alongside Pogba. But I hear what you're saying. Against Norwich, he did look flat, and it's probably tiredness. He's been playing every game.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, even today when I woke up to do the preview, I was like, oh my god, there's actually a game tomorrow. We actually have a game tomorrow. And we just did one, like, it just felt like I did one yesterday. So if I was feeling that, I can only imagine how the boys are playing. And they didn't even just play the normal 90 minutes. They went to extra time, 120 minutes. And, Maguire, when is Maguire ever going to get a rest? Do you think Ollie will ever rest Maguire?
I don't think Maguire's resting for the rest of the season. And that's an insane thing to say, but I can see him playing every game. Maybe that's not realistic. Maybe he'll be forced to do it somewhere. But, this guy. And we know Bruno's fit. Rashford's also a fit player, but he got a stress injury. So if he keeps playing like this, we're going to lose Bruno. And losing Bruno is going to hinder us making top 4 or winning the Europa League. So I just don't get it. Maguire as well. That defense without Maguire is not that good, to be honest. I feel like we would crumble a little. With maybe Wan-Bissaka would keep the standard, but I don't know how Lindelof would play with a Bailly. Actually, we have seen it. It'll be horrible. And Shaw's a good defense. I feel like Maguire puts it together. So he needs to rest them somewhere. And I'm not sure if Greenwood will start. I think he might give James another shout.
You think? Actually, I wonder what happened to James, because I haven't seen any news on it, but he wasn't even involved in the FA Cup squad. And I'm wondering if that could be through injury or illness, or just Ollie saying, like, listen, you need to earn your spot. This isn't good enough. That one I highly doubt. But yeah, I wonder do you have any idea what happened to James?
No idea. I think the reporters didn't ask him, so he didn't really have to answer on it. But I think it would be great if it's because if he pulled him out and literally dropped him, because he does need that, because he has been a bit poor.
Yeah, he has been a bit poor. And another thing I would say about the Dan James one is that, yeah, maybe Ollie does like James, but I think Greenwood deserves to start. And I think for now to the rest of the season, Greenwood could play a lot of games because, we are supposed to get a right winger. Touchwood, Sancho comes in, definitely. But Greenwood, he looks to me like, when I watch Greenwood, he's like, I want to play Ollie. Like, I know I'm young and everything, but I want to play. And just because of my age, I don't want to just, I understand you want to look after me and you don't want the pressure to get to me. But there were 18-year-olds doing it out there at the big level. You look at Mbappe, you look at Joao Felix and all of them. They are young, but just because young, I feel that you don't have to be used as a rotation player. I think you could still be very important. People want Sancho to be our right winger, but then again, Sancho is also young. He's just 1 year older. He's our age, actually.
Like, Ole has a bit of a double standard here. Because how is he resting Greenwood but playing Maguire and Fernandes every game? So I don't understand that. And I agree with you. I think I'd play him for most of the remaining games because we'll all be playing against teams who will sit back most of the time and it'll be rigid. And as we've seen, Dan James becomes useless in those situations. And he's more of a threat on the ball. As much as he doesn't maybe score himself nowadays or create a lot of chances, but he's threatening and he makes spaces for other players. So I think that's an asset.
Now, what I would say is I think he's got a very high IQ, football IQ. I've seen him pick out like good passes. I've seen him when there's nothing on. I've seen him do some step overs, cut in either on the outside or on the inside, have a shot with either foot because he's both footed. So this kid is something. I'm very excited to see what Greenwood becomes. And I do understand the point where Marcus also used to say like, no, you can't. How could you start Greenwood? We have to look after. He's going to make mistakes. I understand all of that. It's just like as a United fan, it's like I want to be patient, but at the same time, I wish I could see Greenwood play every week.
Mm-hmm. And like I know Marcus will argue with me, but like I potentially see a right wing there. Yes. I don't know if I've seen enough of him in striker to know if he's a striker. Maybe that's because Ole's not playing him there. Because I've heard in the youth he's great there. But like when you look at these attributes, he's got the pace, he's got the skill, the IQ. He just seems like he can be a really good right wing. Maybe for the duration of the season before he gets Sancho, I think he's the main man to go there.
And that's another thing I was thinking about. I was just thinking, what if Ole is playing him Greenwood at right wing? Not because we have Martial and Hidalgo at striker, but Ole sees something in this guy being a right winger. Like I see next season, for Igalo will stay for another year, hopefully. So we'll have Sancho and Greenwood could play everywhere. We have Rashford and then James, and then Martial and then Igalo. So there's a replacement for each of them. Not insanely good, and it just shows again why depth is so important.
Yeah.
But I can see Ole doing something like that or thinking along those lines.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like I don't know what's his strike about it. Maybe you can tell me.
I think his finishing. I think his finishing and the way he can be creative from the middle. I think he's a better finisher than Martial. I just don't think Greenwood has anywhere near the experience Martial has to make the striker runs yet, or be as used to it. But I think Greenwood, if he gets a chance as a striker to put one away for a tap, everything, it's all the time. It's like it's gonna go in. Like so many times I was thinking when Martial has been thrown goal and he's fumbled a 1-on-1 or something, Greenwood would never do it. I think Greenwood would be goal all the time.
That's true. He has that for him, but I don't know about all the other attributes of a striker. Maybe, like I said, I just haven't seen him there, but I don't know if he has the positioning, if he can hold up like Martial. We've seen him hold up here and there, but I feel like as much as he potentially could make a great striker, he can make a great right wing as well because he can shoot from range as well. He can run players. The pace, and that's how we want to play as Manchester United. We want to play very pacey wings, and he's got that.
Yeah, and what I would say about the Greenwood being as a striker is that I think the one thing he doesn't have is the link-up play. I think Greenwood is quite selfish, and rightly so. I think he deserves to be the selfish player in the team because when he's on the wing, like Rashford, you can kind of be selfish, but you can also use. But it annoys me because I always want to tap in. or to create something at the width. But I think Greenwood is more of a selfish player. I think Tony isn't selfish. We've seen Tony being very selfless after that game in Sheffield when he got his goal. He immediately wanted to just set up Rashford on when he was 1-on-1 with the keeper instead of finishing. So I think Greenwood would be more of a selfish striker, and I think he will be super hungry for goals.
Yeah, he's gonna be a brilliant goal scorer. You can see that, and I'm convinced that Ole tells his players to be selfish. Maybe not like that, but I think he tells them go for goal because I think he's seen that we struggle for goals, specifically Marcus Rashford. I think there was a part of his development where maybe he wasn't scoring enough, and I think Ole just told him just go for goal. You've got it, just go for goal. Trying to develop that goal scoring side. So I don't know. I feel like Ole kind of gives him the leeway to do it.
Yeah, definitely. And one more thing I would have to bring up is that he's been on the poster. The man near Matic, a guy we've all slated. But now, I can't leave him out of a team sheet. I think he's so crucial in United winning games and doing well and performing that he's in the team. And Maloto, what are your thoughts on Matic's recent form and, the way he's turned around the season and his importance to the team?
Yeah, Marcus will say he told us so. I think
yeah.
He's got the attributes, and I was talking to my cousin the other day, and I was saying I think Matic should start, and he was saying he's mad because of the pace thing, and I feel like a lot of people have written him off because of that. But as Marcus would say, with Pogba and Bruno, I think he can hold, and with his experience, he can do a very good job at it, and none of our other CDMs can do that, and he's consistent at it. So, yeah, he's the man, and I don't see us signing a CDM, so I think he might be the man for another season. But
I think he can do it for one more season. But again, it just shows the problem. If Matic gets injured, or if age really affects him next season and he doesn't come, it is late for United. It is late. If Matic doesn't perform, imagine how crazy this is sounding. If Matic doesn't perform, it's late for United. Matic, out of everyone, we never would have thought of Matic. It's crazy. It just shows how United fans feel like we almost there 2-3 signings away. But then the other problems that we're blinded at, if Matic gets injured or if Maguire gets injured, the other priorities, the other signings that are not prioritized, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. And, we are not like Liverpool who have a perfect injury record. Because, touch wood, if United had a perfect injury record and our whole first team was fit the whole season like Liverpool's was, then for sure that team could challenge. But we are United at the end of the day. We know how our club is. We know everything it's about, and it's probably very unlikely. So, we finish off, Mr. Maloto. Score prediction, Brighton versus United. Unbeaten in how many games now? Since Bruno has arrived. So 12 or 13?
We won this game. If we lost this game, I just don't know. I think we'll still be able to maybe make top 4, but we'll be making it so much harder for ourselves because we have much easier games, and this is one of them. So I don't think they'll make it easy for us. I think defensively they're very disciplined. So I'm going to go with the 1-0 United win.
1-0. Oof.
Yeah.
1-0 will make me stressed on the day. It'll make me stressed more. The United winning 1-0 is going to make me stressed. Because there's part of me that always thinks that United can make a mistake and concede a goal, but I guess so can any team. But my prediction is...
10 draws this season?
Sorry, repeat that? What you said?
Did you know we have 10 draws this season or something like that?
Yeah, that's the problem. And that's what Ollie was saying. We need consistency if we want to beat and challenge for Liverpool. You can't be drawing to this. You can't be losing to Newcastle out of the blue, losing to Burnley out of the blue. No, guys. We need consistency. Consistency. So consistent like Liverpool. Liverpool was so consistent. One loss. Come on. If that's the new standard, it's and that is the new standard. I believe this is the new standard if you want to achieve these things. So a lot of improvements. But I think United will get over the line in this game. I think a 2-0 result is in order. I think if we play that team, it'll be over the line. I would like to be done early. I'd like to get the match done early. First half, completely get the job done. 2-0 up, whatever. Rest Bruno. I really want Bruno to come off tomorrow's game. He probably won't.
Yeah.
Oli will probably play him the full game and risk injury. But yeah, I think Bruno needs a break. Pogba's in full. Matic's in full. The players are confident, and yeah, who knows? Tony Marshall might score another hat trick.
I think Brighton is that type of team. If you score 2 goals first half, they'll be done, because I just don't see. I don't think they have enough to come back. But if you didn't linger, it's like the 70th minute. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, definitely. But anyways, guys, thanks for listening to the channel. Please feel free to subscribe and smash the like button if you haven't already. Let us know in the comments down below what are your thoughts, predictions for this game. And yeah, we really do appreciate all of you listening in. And again, once again, if you're new, hit that subscribe button.